Motheo, very good morning to you, and thanks for getting out there this early for us. Now, I can't imagine the pressure that the finance minister is under with all the talk of junk status and recession, and basically being told earlier this week by the president that he wasn't the best man for the job.
Well, thank you very much, Vega. A very big day for the country, a big day for the finance minister as well, as he prepares to step through those doors behind me in Parliament to tell the country what plans he has fiscally to try and evade that credit downgrade that he's facing so much pressure. And well, the economy right now, as he stands, he's coming obviously in December, having been brought in after Des van Rooyen was brought in after Nene was taken out, and that economic status at the time fell through, seeing the rand touching 18 rand, and now he has to come in and fix and be the fixer for the South African economy, because he faces pressures such as high food inflation for consumers. They are under pressure, they are under debt pressure, and he's also under the pressure to convince credit ratings agencies that South Africa is still investable and South Africa is still a bankable country, and he has to, through financial plans, through fiscal plans, through cost cutting around the budgets, to show them that South Africa can actually grow from the point that it's actually at. We know that the IMF as well as the World Bank has also revised growth, the Reserve Bank also revising growth for South Africa just under a percentage point. So South Africa is facing a lot of pressure, and he is the man that needs to come in and fix that through.
All right, Motheo, and basically, are we expecting the minister to be very clear on what rescue tactics will and should be employed?
Well, we saw a very thin sauna speech from the president, Jacob Zuma, and we are now expecting him to come and add the meat to what the plans are. We know that they've met with over 150 CEOs earlier on this year to try and make sure that South Africa avoids that credit downgrade that would leave us at junk status, making it obviously difficult for us to borrow money, making it more expensive for South Africa to borrow money, seeing capital flows go out of the country. So he has to come in now and actually make sure that we're in a better and stable state.
And in terms of that, avoiding that junk status, and do you think that that will be one of the biggest focuses of the speech that we're going to hear today?
That is the headliner today. I mean, that is what that would be of keen interest to the credit ratings agencies, to investors, to business people, and actually also affecting South Africans. But that's not only the only thing we should worry about for the ordinary South Africans. I mean, on our way here, we saw people going to work and pupils obviously going to schools, and they do also matter in this budget speech that he's going to deliver today, because obviously he is tipped to raise taxes and income taxes, and I'm sure those employed in South Africa will want to hear by how much he'd be raising those, if he is at all. And also on the education side, with tertiary fees such a common feature from last year and also this year as well, tertiary students and those wishing to go into tertiary education will want to know how much he'll allocate for them as well. So not just the credit downgrade, but also different pressures that he's dealing with as well.
And I'm sure the farmers will also be listening closely to see what's in it for them.
Well, definitely. We know our farmers went into a lot of debt last year, obviously trying to fend off that drought that crippled the agricultural sector, and farmers will want to hear how government will meet them halfway. We know that some of them had been borrowing money to even have some seed to plant earlier on this year. It's going to be a tough year in terms of production in agriculture, and he should obviously be speaking towards that to say how much will they allocate, where they'll get the money, and how they'll meet the farmers halfway, who are also in debt, just like the South African consumers who are experiencing high prices from those food inflation that's coming in because of the drought.
And in terms of government spending, I mean, we saw with Sona, we saw the start of what many said will be Pravin Gordhan coming in with a bigger knife. Do we expect that?
we should expect that. I mean, he did set the tone while he was finance minister before in Nhlanhla. He did set that tone of belt tightening within government. So we also saw the president touching on the unnecessary travel and unnecessary events within government that will be cut. We're expecting him to tell us where he'll be trimming the fat and where the money will be taken away. And we also expect him to tell us how he will either freeze the government wage bill, which is a big part of the budget, and how he will also make sure that he saves money around government. We know some parties, as well as the DA, has also been saying that he could save a lot of money for the country if he were to cut the cabinet. So also a big talking factor around there today.
All right, the big speech today. Thank you very much. eNCA's business reporter Motheo Khoaripe is outside Parliament for us already this morning.